My mom's priest is coming over along with a couple other people from the church, and we're going to make dinner for them. But we're going to make a keto dinner. But we're not going to tell them it's a keto dinner.
Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics. And every Monday, we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure to subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we're cooking for a little gathering, you'll be alerted to it.
So we are up here in New York in the Catskill Mountains visiting my mom.
Beautiful.
Came up here with our brand new Alliance Delta 294RK, and we're having a great time. I am learning that we are spoiled living in South Florida with Amazon deliveries where you can get stuff delivered to your house in 4 hours. And here, there are no Amazon people. You have to have it shipped through the post office or through UPS. It takes usually 3 or 4 days minimum. Or we can have something shipped to like a drop box, an Amazon box. The closest one is 40 minutes away. And so, like, this morning, we were having Keto Beyond the Couch, and the battery in my camera just crapped out. It will not charge. It will not do anything. So we had to order new batteries so that we could do our live stream later on this week. And, like, yeah, it's being shipped to a Dropbox 40 minutes away, hopefully tomorrow, because we're leaving Wednesday. But it is absolutely gorgeous here.
I am enjoying all of the bird watching, all of the plants. Like tomorrow, right before like we're gonna go do some gallivanting, I'm gonna take a nice long bike ride through all of the hills and stuff. But today we are actually expecting some guests that we're gonna get to share dinner with.
Yeah, so my mom's priest is coming over along with a couple other people from the church, and we're gonna make dinner for them. But we're going to make a keto dinner. But we're not going to tell them it's a keto dinner. And so, you know, maybe we'll make this a 2-day vlog so we can kind of show tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're going to take a ride over to Poughkeepsie, which is where I went to college, at Marist College of Poughkeepsie. I want to show Rachel the mountains and where people go rock climbing and stuff. But, so what's on the menu for today?
So we're having ribs. We are having deviled eggs. We're having our keto lasagna.
Yeah, because like a lot of people are Italian and people are always like, you can't do keto on Italian. I'm like, we're going to make a meat layer lasagna. Link for that down below. I'll put the video up here. What else? Oh, you're making deviled eggs?
We're making deviled eggs. We're making Brussels sprouts cooked with bacon.
And then for dessert?
Keto chow pudding.
I am out here on my grill and I am browning up all of the ground beef. And then I also got a pound of sausage. So we're going to do a combination of ground beef and sausage. So this is going to be for the meat layer lasagna. Now we're going to cook up. I got a pound of just some pork sausage. Add a little bit more flavor into this. So we're going to brown up this pork sausage. And what are you doing?
I am making some easy deviled eggs. Look, don't tell anybody that I'm actually just using some store-bought hard-boiled eggs already done for me. We're going to be using our NutriBullet, just mixing it with some good mayonnaise, some mustard, some paprika, and a little bit of pickle juice, and we're going to have some nice deviled eggs to go with dinner tonight.
Where did you get pickle juice?
From the pickles we got.
You mean my Bubby's pickles? Wait a second.
You're donating it to the cause.
Okay, so don't mind this paper thing right here. I'm just leaving it on the table right now to not get the new table dirty. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some ricotta. About 2 cups. I don't have any cup measures with me, so I'm just going to kind of guesstimate. I'm going to add some of this Italian seasoning that I found in my mom's cupboard. So this is, I'm assuming it's Wesley, so not quite sure where she's getting it from. This is nice because it's like fresh grind. And then I'm going to add I'm gonna add 2 eggs to this and add a little bit more ricotta. And now we're just gonna go ahead and mix all this up. Sorry about the shadows, but I'm doing this outside because we have a small kitchen and Rachel is making a bunch of stuff inside, but we're just gonna mix this really well. You don't have to use 2 eggs, but I'm doing this kind of on a time crunch. Normally I like to make this way in advance and allow it to set. What the egg is gonna do is basically hold the ricotta together and make it not so watery as the lasagna bakes. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my ground beef mixture, and I'm just using the lid from my lasagna pan, and I'm gonna add probably about a half a cup of tomato sauce. I'm using this one here. I found it in Walmart. So this is the Mezzetta brand, and this one has no sugar added. Comes in at 7 total carbs for a serving. And it is literally just plum tomatoes, olive oil, fresh onions, fresh garlic, fresh basil, sea salt, and spices. And this one is actually half the cost of the Rayo's and pretty much the same exact nutrition. So again, this is what it is, Mezzetta. Now I'm gonna take my pan, and I'm reusing things. So this is when I took the ground beef off of the griddle. That's just the grease that was left in there. We're gonna put just a little bit of tomato sauce in the bottom. It's just gonna prevent some sticking. Just kind of spread it around a little bit. You don't need a lot. And again, we have a full recipe video on this. This is kind of like abbreviated. Some turkey lunch meat, line the bottom. Put some provolone cheese in here. Some more lunch meat. I'm probably gonna skimp a little bit. Sometimes at home I'll put a little bit more. A healthy amount of ground beef. When it comes to ground beef, I wanna make sure everything is covered. I'm gonna put some ricotta. A little bit of mozzarella. Couple little dollops of spaghetti sauce. Again, I don't put too much. Another layer of turkey. A little more provolone. Some more turkey. More ground beef. Now this is a very hearty meal. We've got 2 pounds of ground beef, and we have a pound of ground sausage in here. It's a little bit different than my original recipe, but we're trying to make it hearty and delicious. Some more ricotta. Some more turkey. I'm gonna put some more sauce on the top of this. Now put some mozzarella across the top. Next, I'm gonna cover the entire thing with aluminum foil. Actually gonna do 2 layers. This is just so the cheese doesn't burn too quickly. We want it to melt but not burn. Now we're gonna put this into the oven at 350 degrees until it sets and the cheese gets all nice and melty. I've never made this in the RV. Hopefully it comes out okay. So we got to talking and lost track of time. And so I've started the Brussels sprouts, and I completely forgot to turn on the camera as I was starting them. So let me show you what we're doing. So small space, but I think we're gonna be able to do it. So what I did was I have a bunch of bacon down on the bottom. I chopped it up into small pieces. Then I've got my Brussels sprouts that I was soaking in some water. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this cook, and I'm gonna put this tin foil piece over here. That's gonna take some of the steam and kind of get those Brussels sprouts going. And we're gonna let this just cook for a little bit, cook up that bacon and soften up those Brussels sprouts. So you can see these are cooking up really well. Bacon got nice and crispy, and our Brussels sprouts are softening them up. Just a little bit. We're gonna let these go for a couple of more minutes. And all of this bacon grease, we're just gonna keep putting it up over the top. Let's go ahead and check on this lasagna. Okay, let's go ahead and check this out. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. That looks so good. We're gonna keep the aluminum foil off, and we're gonna put it back in the oven for about another 10 minutes. Good morning.
Good morning. Do we really have to capture this moment?
Well, We were really bad food vloggers last night.
And we had such beautiful food to show, right? Because we made lasagna, we made deviled eggs, we made ribs, we had, the Brussels sprouts with the bacon came out perfectly.
Yeah, I started filming all of our food. Like, I filmed making lasagna, and I filmed making the Brussels sprouts, which there were none left at the end of the night. Right? You didn't film making the ribs, did you?
I did not.
But it was the same as we did in the other video.
Super, super easy. Just salt this time, honestly.
Yeah, so all we did was we had 3 racks of baby back ribs.
I want my baby back,
and we
ribs.
put some salt on them, and then we put them in the oven at 275. And then I think we ended up bumping it up to 275 because we were using a gas oven. We let them go for about 4 hours, and the compliment, no sauce, no nothing. We put up some
I put sauce on the
Sweet
side.
Baby Ray's and G. Hughes sauce up on the side.
Oh,
and
you didn't need any sauce.
Everybody that ate them, and we're talking about non-keto people, everybody was like, these are the most tender, juicy, most delicious, juicy ribs. And it was done in an oven. So you don't need a smoker for it. And we didn't sauce them. And a lot of people didn't even add sauce. They were delicious. But I wish I would have videoed it. But we were so involved in conversation. And I also don't like to stick camera in people's faces. Especially if they're not part of our community.
Right.
But we were trying to cut them into thirds. So hey, here's a serving. And when you would cut it, the bone would just come out. You couldn't pick it up.
You couldn't tell.
It was so tender. I think they're probably one of the best. They were better than your spare ribs. And I can't even believe I'm saying that.
Well, thank you. I actually think I like baby back ribs better than spare ribs because it doesn't have that
the gristle on the end, the chewy.
I don't like
which
that.
Is actually, you can get a lot of collagen from that.
I know, but it's a mouthfeel thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm not way into guacamole. But no, they were really, really, really good. The deviled eggs, not a lot of people ate them, but that's good for you because
that's
you
so
love
insulting.
I would say half of them you probably made too many.
I made a lot.
My mom was like, "Should I make a salad?" And I'm like, "We have a lot of food.
Yeah,
there's gonna be 6 of us."
My deviled eggs were
I'm
good.
sorry. Well, again, people ate them, but just not as many. I think they just wanted to fill up on everything else.
Yeah, of course.
But my mom was like, "Should I make a salad?" I'm like, "We have a lot of food. There's 6 people. We've got 3 racks of rib, a full lasagna, and that lasagna was made with a pound of turkey, and then 2 pounds of ground beef, a pound of sausage. It was heavy." Now, the only thing is Rachel did tell everybody that, the noodles for the lasagna were made out of meat. I didn't want to tell anybody because I wanted to see, what do they think? Because if you know ahead of time, you're kind of going in it's not going to be the same.
I could just see everybody kind of looking at it wait a minute.
How is this keto?
Yeah, right. How is this keto?
But afterwards, everyone was like, I can't believe there's no pasta in there. It was truly, truly delicious. And fortunately, there's some leftovers. So I left half of the leftovers in for Mom, and I brought the other half out here because I wanted to make sure we got some because it was just so good. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to take a drive over to Poughkeepsie up through New Paltz. So I went to school in Poughkeepsie. So we are on one side of the Hudson River, and now we're going to head over to the other side of the Hudson River. You go across this bridge, and then you go up these winding mountains. I believe it's 4455, and people go rock climbing on it. It is the most gorgeous, gorgeous view. I was going to take Rachel up to Hyde Park, which is where FDR lived. His house is there. His summer home is there. But unfortunately, they said the museum is closed until May.
Yeah, I actually think that it is the house that Eleanor Roosevelt lived in after he died. But yes, you can go to the grounds, but you can't go inside of the house right now. But you can go to the Vanderbilt house. So
I've been there.
I'm hoping that we can go on that tour because I have not been there.
Back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again, Driving is like a spiritual cleanse, where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day. Neon lights in the fast lane life, riding high, reaching for the sky. I had it all but lost and fell back down again. Spent my time playing the game where every single day was a losing battle and every drink was a dead end. Eyes on the goal, don't lose control. I'm living fast, I've lost my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day. How did I get caught? The walls are caving in. How come I got lost in this endless spin? Why do I feel so empty deep within? Where did I go wrong? Eyes on the goal, don't lose control. I'm living fast, I lost my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day, heading back to what used to be home, where every mile is a new beginning and every bend goes a new end.
So we are here in Poughkeepsie, New York,
Hyde Park.
and we actually were just taking a look at where Joe went to college, at Marist College, and we are in the area of the Franklin D. Roosevelt Library and Museum, and we're not sure exactly what is opened up yet. A lot of things don't open up in this area of the state until May, and we're here in April, but hopefully we can at least do a self-guided tour across the grounds is really what we're hoping for, at least. I am so excited. There's a lot of stuff that's open, so we can actually go to the museum, tour the house, and we're gonna start off with a little orientation film. So we've got about 4 minutes before the film starts, and I'm super stoked to be here.
You also have the Presidential Library.
I love museums and anything that has to do with history. When you are exploring a new area, is that something you enjoy doing? Do you like going to art museums? Do you like going to local libraries? Like, there's so much to see in this area, and I just can't get enough. So if you do come here to visit, don't miss the movie. Having that orientation film was really nice. In fact, a picture that's on that film is actually represented in this statue here, showing that this couple actually worked together in a lot of things. I mean, we've heard that a lot, you know, down through history, that Eleanor Roosevelt really was an advisor to her husband, and it just was neat to see that relationship work. I know that he wasn't a perfect person, truly, but it was nice to see how courageous Eleanor Roosevelt was. So we are here at the FDR Presidential Library, which he actually designed himself and was the first presidential library with a sitting president. And we're just excited to kind of tour where he designed.
of the things that's interesting is, though Americans knew that FDR had polio, a lot of people didn't know the extent of the fact that he couldn't walk. And so the media had an understanding that they were not to photograph him or show him in a wheelchair or having to be carried. And they honored that, but they knew that if he were to be shown in like a wheelchair, or if he were to be shown being carried around, that would make him look weak to other countries.
This has been a fascinating exhibit. There's just so much stuff here that's intact, which is incredible. I mean, right down to the bassinet that Roosevelt, was laid in by his mother. I mean, just amazing amount of artifacts, living history.
So something really special about this place is that it's the only place where a president was born here. We're going to actually go up and see the bedroom where he was born. He lived here, raised his family here, played with his grandchildren here, and then he is buried here. He didn't die here. He's actually, he passed in Georgia at the Warm Springs where he established after he was diagnosed with polio. But 3 days later, he was buried here, and interestingly enough, we'll go over to the tombstone later, but he had the tombstone built specifically to the size and shape of his desk. So this is really amazing. We're actually standing right now in the room where FDR was actually born. They didn't always keep this furniture here in this place, but knowing that FDR was going to want to make this open to the public, his mother actually had all of the furniture moved back to this room so that people could enjoy the first place where he saw sunshine. So right behind me here, you can see this phone on the wall is actually the phone that directly links him to the White House. So this mirror here is very important. It was used by the Secret Service to be able to look at all of the hallways around this family area without actually stepping into each of the rooms. Just in case you're not sure, we're here in spring.
What did you think of that?
That was the most amazing thing. I'm so thankful that we took the time to see this today and to see some place. It's like the birth and burial place of a president. I mean, this place really is like no other. It was just so interesting to hear all the details, to get to see all the furniture, and so much is intact. That's what's crazy. There's just so much information. This is just such a rich historical area of, two people in American history I highly regard. So it's just, this was an incredible opportunity. I'm really thankful we went.
So now one thing to note is that if you have a National Park Pass, that actually covers your admittance here into the Presidential Library. If you want to go on the tour of his home, that was $10 a person, $6 for seniors.
Well worth it.
Well worth it. Here's the thing is that, like, we came here with my mom and my sister. I think it was $10 to go into the, or $20 to go into the actual library. Your pass covers that. And so we ended up buying a pass because our old one expired. But literally, you can come here with your National Park Pass. If you go to one other place,
Pays for it.
You've paid for your park pass for the entire year. But it was really, really like a cool experience. I highly recommend the house tour. Our guide was extremely knowledgeable, and I think
Ranger.
she would have just continued to talk and talk and talk. She was full of knowledge.
Oh, she was absolutely a wealth of information. I actually stayed behind our party for a little bit longer just to hear her tell some more stories about the family, and some of the things that were interesting to me was just the relationship between FDR, his mother, and Eleanor. It must have been challenging because really this is FDR's mother's house. It was only the last 4 years of his life that, she had passed away before. So they didn't really own the home themselves as a couple. It was really like, a son and a daughter-in-law living in mama's house. We're back. We stopped at the Adams grocery store, like Fair Trade grocery store, and Fair Acre, I think. Fair Acre Farms. I'll get it right directly. And they had fantastic wings, like a really good wings deal. We got them the other day and really enjoyed them. I'm eating some of the spicy ones because we didn't get those before, but the garlic Parmesan, hello, it's amazing.
So I've got some wings. I've got a few of the garlic Parmesan. I also got some hot wings. I think they're probably more of a medium because I don't smell it burning. A little bit of blue cheese dressing. And then also at that Adams place, they had like all these different types of fancy pizzas, like Meat Lovers, different ones like that. So they had a street taco pizza. So I got one of those, and all I do is, again, I scrape the toppings off, and it's basically like shaved beef with cilantro and some different types of taco seasoning. So that's what I'm going to eat. And we also have a special dessert.
So we're ending the night with a little bit of butterscotch keto chow ice cream. We brought the creamy with us. Like there's, when I tell you that there's so little space for things that I only brought one suitcase full of clothes, and yet we found room. We managed to find room for the ice cream maker.
I don't have any of them labeled. Are you sure it's butterscotch?
It's butterscotch. Mom and Terry enjoyed the creamy so much last night that we're going to make Terry a creamy for breakfast.
Hello. We're kind of, you would think after all of these years, we would be better at food vlogging.
We're terrible.
We're terrible.
We enjoy food. We're not terrible. We just enjoy food. So
But you're supposed to stop.
You
record your food, all of that.
But we do wait until we're hungry to eat. So when we're ready to eat, we're ready to eat.
So yesterday was amazing.
It was so much fun. We were just going to drive around. We had no intention to go to the FDR museum, but I'm so glad we did.
The thing is that I knew about the FDR museum because, again, I went to college there and I lived there. Rachel got to see my old condo where I lived.
So cute.
Were you impressed that, like, I remembered my way around? It's 30 years. I can't believe it's been 30 years since I lived there, but 30 years. So I knew that the FDR museum and library was there because I had gone there when I was in college, but you had looked up and it said that it was closed, right, except for the grounds, but you were confusing it with Eleanor Roosevelt's house,
yes,
which was is up in Valkill, and currently that is closed. The grounds are open, but it's not open for tours until next month. So Valkill is actually where Eleanor Roosevelt lived after FDR died. So it was kind of a really interesting tour. Because, first of all, the park ranger / tour guide who did the tour, you can tell she just loves history and loves sharing everything about FDR.
I love when someone loves their job.
Yeah, and it was interesting to find that FDR actually didn't own that home until like the last 4 years of his life. That it was actually owned by his mom, and his mom lived with them. And so after she died, it became his. And he had already set it up like, this will be a museum. We're going to have a library. This will be a museum. I want people to know my library because he did make some controversial decisions through his presidency. But he also wanted them to see the other side of him, like how he lived. I mean, again, it is the house where he was born, where he lived, and then where he has been laid to rest. And I think that is amazing. So it was set up that Eleanor Roosevelt, that after he died, she could live in the house, but she didn't want to because
like,
she
"No,
never
thank you."
had really a connection. So she
No.
moved after about a year, about 2 miles up the street to Valkill.
Yeah, so we'll have to come back and see more. I also wanted to see the Vanderbilt Museum or the house mansion.
We drove around through that. The grounds are amazing.
Amazing. We just ran out of time. So you could really spend a week in that area just taking in all the history.
There is so much rich history in the Hudson Valley area, in the Monticello area. Again, there used to be so many resorts over here in this side of the river.
There's a resort museum now celebrating the resorts.
I mean, when you think about all of the celebrities who used to come up here during the summer, again, people like Joan Rivers and Frank Sinatra, I remember seeing all of the different names as we were growing up, coming up here. So there's a lot of history up in this area. So I do love being up here. But now it is time to leave. Last night's dinner, by the way, was really good. We got those wings. You love those wings. You're going to miss them.
I am definitely going to miss the Adams wings. So if you're in the South Fallsburg area or surrounding where they haven't, there seems to be a couple of locations.
I think there's 5.
They were delicious.
So I got a little surprise for you.
What?
There's leftovers.
Yes.
We do need an air fryer. We have to find an air fryer. But
we had one in Eleanor.
And I lost it.
Right.
And so we're going to have to find a new one. But we have leftover wings. This is the plan for today's food because you're not going to see it in this video. We have leftover wings. We have leftover meat layer lasagna. So that's really
I'm
good.
happy.
We're going to have to make some more keto chows because Mom and Terry really liked the keto chows. So they ate the keto chow creamies. And dinner was great. We had the creamy. We had the wings.
We had fellowship.
That was the most important. It's been a great visit with my mom.
It's been wonderful. I'm so thankful that at 84 years old, this woman is like solid as a rock. Like she kept in step with us the whole time. And we just had a really good time visiting.
I think it's because she's kept herself active. Long after my dad passed away, like she's very active. I mean, very into her gardening. She loves doing all of the gardening. And, you know, growing up, we were always
functional fitness,
building our own decks. I mean, a lot of stuff here at this house now has been redone from when they moved up here, but there were always decks there, and Rachel helped build some of these decks.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of the different work that needed to be done, we always did, and she has continued to do that. You'll see my mom out here now at 84 years old carrying rocks and bags of topsoil around and moving plants and pots, and I think that helps keep her young. It helps keep her muscles going. And that's why functional fitness is so important. The best part is the trip's not over. So we are going to head out. We're going to go down to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We're going to spend a few days there. And Mom and Terry are going to come down. They're going to join us tomorrow. And we're going to go see, what are we going to see?
We're going to go see South Pacific.
South Pacific. We wanted to see Daniel, but everything is sold out for like the next 3 weeks. So we're going to go see South Pacific play. And I'm also, when we get there, I want to go look. We found another theater it's like called the Big Apple Theater. And it's a dinner show theater. It's like $80, but it's dinner and a show. And the show is ragtime. And I did look at the menu for Friday night. It's a carved prime rib.
Okay, I'm not upset about that at all.
And then there's like baked fish. I mean, there was like a lot of keto friendly things. Obviously, there were non-keto friendly things on there, but a lot of keto friendly things. So we may go do that as well. And we're just going to enjoy a few more days with Mom and Terry. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent video that I'm going to link right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon. And that way, every single time we spend time with family, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.